Ooh, the recording is starting.
Here comes two. Hey guys, welcome to the Launchpad podcast. We have a hell of a show for you. First, we got to get that business crap out of the way. Follow us on all the social medias, whatever it is. It's all in flux right now. Um, I, you know,
Is that a new one? Influx?
Influx. Yeah, you're not on
Did you
Influx.
you didn't message me on Influx?
I didn't invite you on Influx.
You didn't
Yeah,
flux me.
it's invite only. I'm going to send out a couple flukes later. Um, yeah. We're if there is some sort of social media, we're at Launchpad Pod. We have a website, launchpadpod.com. We have our YouTube, Launchpad Pod. It's at Launchpad Pod. You can find it. Tell your friends about us. We're back. It's 2025. We promise we're gonna be like doing cool stuff. Because it got slow. We slowed down for a little bit because things are weird right now and life is crazy right now. But life is so crazy right now. Can I tell you about my morning?
I can't wait to hear it.
Okay. So we have a cleaner come like once a month. They just do a deep clean on the house, right?
Hmm.
I'm up in my office playing my guitar, rocking out. And I hear, excuse me. I'm like, yeah, what's up? Um, there's been an accident. Okay. I can't wait to hear it.
I'd
Um,
be worried, but the fact that you're laughing and saying it on the show makes me think that everyone's okay.
everybody's okay. Nobody got hurt. The cleaning lady goes, a shelf fell down and the toilet broke. Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Well, we'll go check that out.
Now, at that
Wait,
point, do you know what shelf it is?
I'm I'm pretty sure I know what shelf it is, but I go,
Okay.
wait, is the water running? Yeah, that's the problem. Oh shit. I come downstairs and I'm walking through my living room and there's just water coming down through the ceiling.
Oh my God.
And I go up to the bathroom and the toilet had exploded. Just just shattered. Water spraying up into the air. And she's just like, "I'm sorry." And the the shelf, the floating wall shelf had just fallen off the wall, crashed into the top of the toilet and exploded the tank. And now pressured water spraying out of this thing. Turn that shit off right quick. But the floor, there's glass. Whoever installed those shelves, not me, the original cheapskate owner of the home, didn't mount that into any studs. It was just screwed into a wall. We are so lucky this didn't happen while my child was on the toilet. We are so lucky that this didn't happen while we were like doing bath time. It wasn't her fault. She didn't do anything to cause this. It's just like the next person who touched it funny. It would have just boom.
But it wasn't new. It's been there the whole time you've had the house?
Been there the whole time we've had this house. Things just fall off the walls in this house because they
That
need.
lady has not been cleaning that shelf every week
I know
or every month, whatever he said.
they they use cheap drywall, so shit just falls out of it. When we first moved in, we had a wine rack fall off the wall, and like I kid you not, probably $1,000 of wine lost.
Oh my
Just
God.
exploded. That was the first week I had COVID. I'm lying up in my bed like, oh my god, I want to die, and I hear what I think is a car ramming into the side of my house, and Kate screaming, and I come downstairs
Oh,
and what I see is I think just an explosion of blood, but then I
blood.
realize
Yeah,
there's
sure. Yeah,
glass.
you think
Yeah,
the elevators at the Overlook just opened.
just open, but no, that's just all of our nice wine had just come off the walls. This shelf just was like, bye. 2025, fuck it, boom! It just leapt, took a leap, a header right into our fucking toilet, exploded. Water's coming down through the floor below. I turned it off right quick, man. It must have been going less than a minute, maybe 2 minutes, less than five, and water's pouring through the floor. We call some contractors, the insurance agency. They show up. Two guys have been here today and they're looking at it and they're like, man, you're so lucky you were here. because I can't tell you how many times we get the call and they were gone all weekend, come home to a burst pipe, and it's like flowing down the stairs like the wet bandits in Home Alone. And I was like, good reference. I like your reference, guys. That's good stuff.
You're the contractor I'm going with.
And he's like, yeah, we're gonna have to cut out half your ceiling, and it's gonna be like 3 days of work before we can even like start repairing it. We got to dry this shit out. And they just kept saying, you're so lucky, you're so lucky. And I'm like, I believe you. Doesn't feel lucky because you still have to cut half my ceiling out and replace my toilet, and I have to deal with insurance. And I mean, we got good insurance, so I think it'll be okay. But yeah, that's my Monday. How was yours?
Drier than that.
So that's the big toilet adventure, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking potty talk. We are on the hook for an adventure today. I'm really excited. This is an idea that I came up with, and I tried to get Matt on board, and I don't know if he's there yet, but we're going to do it. We're going to try it. It's going to be fun. This is a battle royale, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Can't forget the ladies. What was I thinking? Anyway, let's get on with the show.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Our theme song is just banging.
It is, and I was watching that little video, and I was like, look at my roomie. He's just a visual magician, just putting that shit on there, and it zooms down from the thing that looks like the Hall of Justice, and our logo's up there, and I'm like, man, I'm lucky I have a roomie who doesn't live with me and lives in a Noah's Ark boat with dripping ceilings, and he's able to do all this shit. And I just have to sit here and look pretty.
Yeah, right?
I did remember to hit record this time, though, so how great am I? 4 years into our show, 5 years into our show.
I just had to double check. I made sure. I fucked that up more than once, man. To all you fledgling podcasters, there will come a day. You just better hope it's not, I don't know, a big famous guest like Jeff Loeb who you do that to. Wait, I did that. That was me. I did do that. God damn it. Yeah, man, you can forget. Anyway, sports fans, are you ready for the Grand Royal Rumble? In the right corner, we have podcaster, VFX supervisor, award-winning writer, Aaron McLean. In the left corner, we have Jason Voorhees, slasher extraordinaire, one of the highest body counts in all of cinema, on the great battle. Ting, 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 ting. So this is what we're doing. Imagine like Battle Royale, like Hunger Games, like Running Man, the televised event. And we, the Rocketeers, have to go up against some of the most formidable characters in all of pulp culture. I'm going to go up against Jason Voorhees first. Matt, who are you betting on?
I mean, let me think. I've watched at least 11 movies where Jason Voorhees kills at least, let's say, 3 or 4 people per movie. I've watched 0 movies about you. I've watched
Okay.
in those movies that I haven't seen, you've killed absolutely no one. Jason Voorhees is known to have a machete, right? Like it's his batarang, right? Without his machete, he's not even the full character.
Huge.
You are known for having a man bun, which not only doesn't help you, but certainly puts you on the to kill list. No offense to you, Rumi. Like, I think you have a plan, and I would hope you win, and I would try to help you. But if I had to put money down, I'm putting it on the hockey player for sure. No offense.
like the arena. I'm going to describe the arena to you. It is like a cross section of Crystal Lake. There's a water feature in the middle. There's like a cabin over in the corner. There's a little campsite. He got to pick where he's starting. I'm starting in a campsite. I got my guitar. I'm like, yeah. You know how I'm winning this thing? You know how I'm beating Jason fucking Voorhees?
Just simply not having sex, so he overlooks you and walks past you.
I'm not smoking weed.
Yeah.
I'm not having sex. I'm not looking for his mom's headless corpse. I'm not crossing over into his land. I'm minding my own goddamn business. I'm not a piece of
I'm
shit.
going to space camp this summer.
Right? I'm just gonna get in my tent and go to fucking bed. But then when Jason Voorhees is out like, do. Anybody having sex over here? Anybody smoking weed over here? I'm like, nope, Mr. Voorhees. And then I just go, hey, you want to sit down and hang out, sit by the fire? You look like you need a friend. And he's like, sits down, start playing the guitar. We start hanging out. And then when he least expects it, bam, machete to the face. Got him.
There was a machete hidden in your guitar?
Yeah, it's one of the machete guitars from El Mariachi.
I expect you to be like, he's like, I kind of want to go swimming. And you're like, okay, I'll watch you. And then all of a sudden he has one giant anime tear coming out.
Well, here's the worst version of this. The campfire friendship thing goes so well. And then I'm like, hey, Jason, you look cold. You want to get in some sleeping bags over here? And then like 10 minutes later, make up what you want. He's like, I'm so conflicted. Should I just kill both of us? And I'm like, hey, you want to hit, Jason? He's like, oh no. And then he's like, he doesn't know if he should just kill him. He doesn't know if it's like machete to his own face. Did I corrupt him?
No, it's a crossover. Like the guy from The Burning or Madman or something, like someone from another camp franchise comes in. They're like,
the tag team we weren't ready for,
taking over. No, it's the opposite. It's a verse because now I'm taking over your territory. You're smoking weed and having sex with man bud guys. The Burning, right? Is that what that one was called?
Yeah, Cropsy.
Yeah. He comes in and he just looks so disapprovingly.
Jason, are you a slasher or what? And he's like, oh no, I broke my own rule.
That would be funny. The concept of peer pressure among like hardcore slashers.
Be like, come on, dude. It's just us here. Take a little hit.
Wait, think about it. There's
your mom's not going to find out.
Billy Loomis had sex with Sydney.
Yeah, but that wasn't the whole point of Scream. Is that didn't get you killed anymore. That was like a whole thing. That was their meta moment. Can you imagine the commentators? They're like, this is the most boring death match we've ever seen. He's just playing campfire songs and sitting by his tent. There's no action here, not at all. He's not even running. It's not even a good final girl, let alone a guy with a man.
Then the other commentator would be like, that's right, Al. And the worst part is the guy with the guitar thinks he's singing well.
I know I'm singing well. I'm not playing guitar well.
Know your limitations. That's one of the first things when you go against one of these pop culture icons.
Just when Jason Voorhees thinks this couldn't get any worse, I drag out the karaoke machine. I'm like, come on, buddy.
Whenever you're like singing, it's raining men, and then you put the microphone over to him, and he's like, shh, shh, shh.
All right, it's fine. Amen.
Yeah, you just got to roll with it.
Yep. Yeah. So that's how the game is going to go.
Okay.
You think you got one? You think you can ride with this?
I think so. Okay. So, yeah, so Rumi like texted me this idea, and we've talked about it at least twice, and I understood the words he was saying, but kind of not how it would play out. But I got this. I got this, and I can come up with it off the cuff a little bit. I have a couple characters that I got ready, and I was like, I'll just say this guy if he asks me.
Yeah.
All right.
If you need me to be an announcer, let me know. I have the voice for it. Here he is. Matt Corrigan, ready in his corner.
And then the other commentator leans over and is like, oh my God, he thinks he has the voice for it too. All right, how about this?
All right.
All right, fight fans. You're here in New Detroit, ready to see the amazing, the handsome, the often funny Matt Corrigan take on RoboCop, Alex Murphy, part man, part cop. Well, part man, part robot, all cop. All right. So I guess this would start in an alley. And
It's like a cross section of New Detroit has been cordoned off for this fight.
I'm gonna guess that RoboCop mistakenly thinks that I am some sort of perpetrator because I don't really break a lot of laws. But I'm thinking that while I'm trying to explain to him, he wouldn't draw a gun on me because I don't think I'd be caught doing something where he felt threatened. So I think that what I could do is talk to him and get close enough to him, and I'm pretty fast. I think I could whip out like my lanyard on the end of my keys, and on the back of each of his feet, he has a piston that on the back of his leg, right on the back of his calf.
Yes.
And I think, because I've seen kids sneak up to him and spray paint his back without him knowing, I'm going to say that he's basically a two-legged version of an Imperial Walker, and that I could loop my lanyard around the back of that piston and then just run one quick circle around him, and he would tip over. I'm pretty sure. Don't you think?
You're AT-ATing that shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could do that.
I actually think you are onto something here, because even if he pulls his gun out, that's a long-range weapon. RoboCop doesn't have a lot of close-up. I mean, yeah, shing, 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 he's got that spike in his hand, but you got to be close enough to catch. So you got to be in that nice sweet zone where you're not getting popped by the auto or getting shoot by the spike. He's not fast. RoboCop is decidedly...
No, I mean, that's the other thing is, worst comes to worst, I could just run. Because even in my older, larger state, I still could run okay, and I'm sure I could outrun RoboCop.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure.
And I love that you're using your keys as like a little bit of a grappling hook wrapped around his pistons. Definitely a design flaw. I mean... and then running him around, tipping his ass over, and he lands on the ground, just goes, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, he would definitely. And then in my mind, I would be escaping down a stairwell, and I'd like open up the stairwell door and like look behind me, and you see me look, and then I'd start to run down the stairwell and immediately fall in the same exact way that Ed 209 does. I'd want it to look exactly the same, and then at the end, I would just kick my feet up and down and squeal like a pig.
I was going to say, you should have put it in a fucking stairwell, because even if he's not as bad as Ed 209, I doubt RoboCop's that good at stairs.
Oh, no, and he has to hold the rail for sure, right? Like, he can't just go downstairs.
No, his visibility's terrible. I mean, do you have anything to say to him as you leave him in his state of defeat?
Like a witty one-liner, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would give him the, does it hurt? Does it hurt? Cops don't like me, so I don't like cops. Na.
I sent Rumi a picture today of Bitches Leave 2 action figure set, and it's just the back of 2 female action figures, and it's got Clarence Boddicker on it, and I was like, I just watched this movie the other night in a big screen, and that still might be my absolute favorite part of the entire film. Is when Clarence Boddicker walks in as Bitches Leave.
Bitches Leave.
Oh
my God.
The coldest thing he does in that movie.
I have a whole shelf dedicated to RoboCop. I love RoboCop, and I love that scene so much, not just because Clarence Boddicker is one of the coldest bad guys ever.
He grabs that grenade
with his tongue, pops it out, throws. Oh my God!
It's rolling around on the counter.
So the guy that he blows up, the smarmy guy who basically manages RoboCop, he's the producer of RoboCop. You know what he went on to voice?
Ooh, I should know, but no.
The bad guy in Mulan.
Oh, interesting.
He's
Miguel Ferreira, right?
Yeah, he's one of the only white guys in the cast, and it's the bad guy who plays the Hun. And I love it because it doesn't sound like him at all, but the whole time, like whenever, because my kid's watching all these Disney movies, and I'm like, who did this voice? Oh, who did this voice? Oh shit, who did this voice? Bitches leave. Like fucking awesome. It's amazing to me when you look who's done what voice. The guy who did the voice of Abu, look him up because he's done your entire childhood.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's done everything, right? We just watched that recently, and I saw that in the credits.
Yeah, he's done everything. Like he's done Gremlins. He's done this. He's done. I mean, I think he played Tigger for a bunch of bunch of seasons of Winnie the Pooh. Like he's literally done everything. The guy who literally does the voice of Tigger is in a ton of stuff. Like it's incredible how many voices these like 2 or 3 guys have done, and it's all the animals in Disney plus all the characters from your childhood cartoons, like Slimer from Ghostbuster. Like you're just like, no, him, that Transformer, no way. Like looking at his IMDb is just a roller coaster of excitement because you're just like, oh, ah. And then
could you beat him in a fight though?
He'd distract me because I'd be like, is there a little monkey over here?
That's Ghost. That's Slimer. I would just put tape over his mouth.
Yeah, and then he would just he would lure me into a trap and get me killed. I would lose to the guy who voiced Abu, but I could defeat Jason Voorhees.
That's my attempt at doing his voice.
Yeah, sure, it's terrible.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I can't do it either. All right,
I can't even do one voice.
You ready for another one?
Yeah.
In this corner, we have podcaster Aaron McLean. In this corner, we have the ultimate terror from a galaxy far, far away. Not Star Wars. It's a Yautja. It's up against the Predator. Doon, 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 doon. So it's me versus a Predator. In Predator 2, we're in a city. All right. Okay. And the Predator, I'm going to beat him. Now I know
I need to understand what you're about to say. Go ahead, continue.
First of all,
I'm extremely skeptical.
When the Predator goes,
first of all, I'm gonna set a fire and say, "Hey man, want to sit at a campfire?" And then I'm just strumming my guitar. And he's gonna be like, totally into it.
No, the second he saw my man bun, he'd be like, "Pop, pop." But when he goes into that thermal,
no, the second he did that, he put his spear away and be like, "Not worthy."
You're giving away my fucking plot, man. He goes into heat vision, and first of all, I look like the front of a Tylenol box with all of my creaky ass joints and shit. So he's all like, but I'm just like, nah, dude, I don't even have a weapon. You go the pacifist route. And he's like, well, I can't kill him because he's not a formidable foe, like prey. And then while he's not going after me, I'm sneakily building traps. I'm sneakily getting traps going. And then I go, hey, want some candy? And if it's not the candy thing that'll get him, if he got me dead to rights with the little I got the little the 3 little dots on my head, I just start going and we do the Die Hard laugh, and he starts going and then like that just triggers him to do his hand thing immediately. I just know the second he starts laughing, he's like boop, 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 boop. Like he wants to break out the music. He's like, dude,
we haven't seen a lot of psychological warfare against the Predator. That's true. That's something in all the comics and all the movies and all the video games I've done and seen and played. I've never seen psychological warfare.
It would be like the antithesis of everything you want to do in your body, which is like fight this monster. You just have to be like the peace. And then at the last second, spring that trap. And then the spikes go through his head, or he falls into a sewer hole, or whatever. I was going to
ask if you were going to elaborate on traps, or we just like generic city traps that you just
I would probably uncover a sewer hole and like put a tarp over it and lay some trash on top of it, a homeless person, an inflatable homeless person. I get a decoy homeless person. Hey buddy, got some change? Hey buddy, got some change? And the ouch is like,
like one of those, I don't know if they have them in Georgia, but like when your place doesn't want to hire an actual sign spinner, you just get one of those mannequins with the moving arms.
Yeah. I get those car dealership balloons.
Yeah, the wiggly.
But I use like a hot air so that he's like,
sure, yeah.
Huh.
You know, like you know when you say something weird to your dog, or you put something weird in front of your dog, and he clearly doesn't know what to do about it, so he goes closer, and then he moves back, and he looks at it different, and then he gives like a little bark, and he gives a little nip. That's what the predator would do. He'd be like, "Whoa," because it would be like blowing up and down, and he'd be like, "What is this? Am I hunting this? It doesn't look armed, but it does have big wiggly arms, and it does seem pretty aggressive."
Rufio does the Michael Myers head tilt. He's like, huh?
Oh yeah.
Huh? 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 And you're like, oh, you're so dumb. Yeah, I think I could get him like a whole forest of those wiggly arm things. Oh, and he's mesmerized by it. He's like, what? And then I just come out, get him from behind. Green blood splashes on the smiling faces of a, a car.
I love that you
wash.
think you can get the drop on one of the hardest like the hardest hunters in all of pop culture.
I'm sorry, if Gary Busey can do it, I can do it.
Erin wrote me yesterday, I think. Pick a character to be thrown into one-on-one Running Man style scenario. Talk about the choices and how you would do. And then he's like, it could be funny. It could be like fighting against the Predator. And I was like, the Predator? I'm fucking awesome. I don't know that there's anyone on Earth who thinks more highly of themselves than I do, except maybe Kent. But I couldn't beat a Predator. I couldn't beat a Predator even if I knew he was coming, I think. I'm pretty sure. So I was like, I'm not picking the Predator. That was like your second pick.
I'm telling you, you just have to be like Zen and just like, nope, not even like a mean thought against the Predator. And he'll just look at my creaky old joints and be like, not a threat. I'm gonna keep looking.
Meanwhile, the Predator goes back home to Yautja World and is showing, the slides from his hunt. And there's a hunt of you pretending to be Zen. And he's like, the Predator's like, I know, but look in the back. Do you see the square tarp over the manhole cover? That's not even a real homeless person. I have heat vision, and he thought I wouldn't know that was a used car sales blow up.
Yeah. And he's like, fucker, I know you're the guy I'm facing off against because we had a way out. We stared each other in the face. I know what you look like. You put a fake mustache on. You have a mustache. You look like a homeless person. You're obviously the guy I meant to kill. Okay, maybe I'm not winning against the Predator, but it'd be a valiant effort. Everybody would be thrilled by this.
I'd watch. I mean, I'd even do pay-per-view. I've never once in my life done a pay-per-view. But if they were like Aaron McLean versus an actual Predator, I'd be like, how much dollars? I'd do that.
I suppose there's no reason you don't like MMA or boxing, so I suppose you wouldn't.
No, I never did. I may have watched like at a, like, I don't know, maybe there was an event that I was at someone's house for as a kid, but
that there was
care.
like a wrestling event. You never got a
not a wrestling guy.
Rage in the Cage.
I was about to say, I'm not a wrestling guy. That shit is fake. And then I was like, let me watch more movies about a killer alien who hunts with a specific code.
I'm not a wrestling guy either, but I've seen WrestleManias and things that my friends' parents bought, and so how I got into MMA. My wife listened to Jason Ellis, who was a big MMA guy. And
she like listened to his words of wisdom or
his podcast. He was
okay.
He's very funny, very crude but funny. He was big into MMA, had MMA guys, and she's like, I want to watch this fight. And I was like, it's just bros, like just broy bros punching each other. And then we pop it on. I'm like, it's just broy bros just punching the shit out of each other. This is great. And I got it MMA. Because it's exactly what I want to see happen to those guys, is them get punched in the face. The problem is when like you really dislike one of them, like one of them is literally a villain and he's like cocky and just a piece of shit, and they always win. And you're like, that's not who I want to win. I want the guy who's like, just be humble, dude. Like, just have some humility. Like, it's a sport. And he's like, I'm gonna kill you and fuck your mother. And then you're like, cool.
Is motherfucking part of it?
No,
I've never seen it. I don't do pay-per-view.
They say shit like that, and then 3 minutes into the fight, he's knocked out the other guy's teeth.
Did you say that to the Predator? and then the Predator,
just before
he killed
played
it back when he beat you. He's fuck your mother, fuck your mother.
Fuck you. Want some candy?
From the other room, Amanda's like, no, honey, I don't know what Daddy's podcasting about. Because all they're hearing is part of this.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's always funny when Sammy's like, Daddy, you're on the radio. And I'm like, oh, like my podcast will come on and she'll be like, I want to listen. I'm like, no. Because you'll repeat that shit at school. And
Good, yeah. That's what you need. We'll get our numbers up, right? She'll be like, my dad's oh, he's talking about motherfucking and predators? He's talking about motherfucking predators on his podcast. What's that thing called? It's a Launchpad podcast.
She'd say it wrong, though. Trademarked. Oh, give me another one, man.
All right. Attention viewers, do not adjust your television set. What you are seeing is as it's meant to be. Marv, the black and white sensation from Frank Miller's Sin City, is in the alleyways to fight handsome Matt Corrigan.
And only your hair is red.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, my hair is white with a little bit of orange in it. But so Marv from Sin City, I think I like. Okay, yeah. Because your first thought is like, no way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, I give you the benefit of the doubt, Roomy.
You have to be fast.
I've seen you climb across 2 trees.
Climb up one tree, across to another tree, and then down the second tree.
Yeah.
You got to be fast, and you gotta think outside the box for this one. It's almost like I would be the shelf, and he would be the toilet. You know what I mean?
All right, I want to hear this toilet play with Marv.
Okay, so the way I'm thinking of it, like if you go, the movie's actually pretty close to the comics, but like Marv is just a big brawler, right?
He's a tank, yeah.
A really nice guy to a certain point. He has a code of honor that he believes in. He really likes Nancy, and he's looking out for her. We've seen him be really excellently loyal to people that he thinks is an ally. So his whole thing is just he's a force of nature. Like you said, he's a tank. He's a rhino. When he's mad, when he's enraged, when he has something in his head, he's just going to juggernaut that shit, right? I think if I stood toe-to-toe with him, I would go down in a second. But if I could think and I could kind of stay back and stay out of his reach, in my head, I keep seeing both the panel and the scene in the movie where there's a cop car coming screaming at him, and he just jumps feet first in through the windshield and knocks the guys down. Now, I'm a kindergarten teacher, and this year has taught me quite a few things. I got a kid throwing fucking chairs every day. I could take Marv down, no problem. I would.
The rage of a toddler is no
Well, because
match.
I feel at the very least I can smack or punch him across the face and then move back to get his attention. I can't even do that in a classroom. So I think my hands are more tied in my room 3 classroom than they would be during a fight with Marv in Basin City. I'd be able to fight back a little bit more, but I also would be able to kind of dull his rage a little bit, so it would be like fighting a regular dude that was just bigger than me, which I still think I could win. I think I could say, okay, so what's your deal? You can handcuff me to you. I would make that be your mistake. Remember that when he handcuffs Elijah Wood to his hand?
Yeah.
He's like, let's see you do your fancy jumping shit now. I think that if he did that, I could just climb up around his back and just look at that. Look at that right there. Just pretend that
you
that
would just
Mickey
Jabba the
Rooney's-
Hutt him, man. You'd be
Yeah,
like Princess
picture
Leia.
that Mickey Rourke's head is like right there.
I actually think I need to put you in the Slave Leia costume to visualize this.
You don't need to, but I'd get in it.
You're in the Slave Leia costume. You're handcuffed to Marv and you're choking him out. And he's like, this is the weirdest crossover for me to die to.
'Cause I'm dying, but I'm a little aroused. You're also now breaking my punchline because that was my third villain to fight. Was
Jabba
Jabba
the
the Hutt. Yeah. No, I think because Marv's intelligence is limited.
Yeah.
His his pure id and not ego, but his pure id and emotion and anger is what powers him. I got two students tomorrow who I am more afraid to fight than if Marv was real. Like tomorrow, I'm gonna have a harder day with those two kids than I will with Marv.
Do they have peanut allergies?
Remember, he grabbed onto like the cell bars of a window and just put his feet up and broke it out. I got two kids who do that in my classroom.
Yeah.
So like
Wow.
I'm not. That doesn't scare me. Nice try, Marv.
They got that child rage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whew.
And it's weird because sometimes they'll come in after like a hard day at the playground, and I know that they got into a fight, so they go to the office, and when they come back, the nurse put all these Band-Aids all over their face, just like crisscross white Band-Aids and surgical tape all over their face.
Marv is also one of those guys that if you tricked him into drinking poison booze, he'd be done.
Oh yeah, I think
He's
he'd be
such an
pretty easily
alcoholic.
tricked, don't you think?
Yeah. I think Marv is very trickable. When you first said Marv, I thought you were going up against the Wet Bandits, and I was like, oh, you'd create a house full of traps. I am excited.
And I like that I
Trap
took the Marv is the taller bandit, right?
Yep.
So I didn't even go for the head bandit. I went for like the stupid one.
The stupid one. I'm
Talk
like,
about punching down.
he's afraid of spiders and will literally take his shoes off and step on whatever you put in front of
Right.
him.
Yeah. That's easy. Like no one is paying for that view, right?
That's like if Marv canceled and they like put a different Marv in, and then like they were just like then they made the pay-per-view free. That's what happens sometimes. Like if the fight gets fucked up, they like switch up the card and then they have to give it away for free. Ooh.
Oh, nice. That's a whole inside world of gambling right there. Like talk about like taking a fall on purpose
Yeah.
to be like, hey, bet on me, but then I won't show up, and then everyone gets free pay-per-view.
So I have one that I probably wouldn't win at, but I just want to give you some trash talk before the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes like this. Did you watch the Super Bowl, Matt?
No.
Oh, well, then this might not make any sense to you. Hey, Fred, I heard you like 'em young. Better not come to cell block 1. Okay, that's
No.
totally lost on you completely.
No, yeah, like I have no frame of reference. Like I know the Super Bowl happened. I know the teams. I know who won.
Do you
I
know
know
the
that-
song that I just quoted?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, you missed the
Was
Drake.
it Kendrick Lamar?
You missed the Drake Kendrick Lamar beef.
I just know that it exists, and I was like, you know what I know about Kendrick Lamar? Nothing,
What?
and I don't care. You know what I know about Drake? Nothing, and I don't care.
I mean, that's fine. That's a great place. That's actually probably the envious place.
But
to
I
be.
didn't realize I would have watched the whole Super Bowl if it meant I got your joke. Like, honestly, I don't like that you made a joke that I don't know.
Especially about Freddy Krueger being a pedophile. So the context is they had some beef, right?
Sure.
Drake said this, Kendrick said that. Drake said this, Kendrick said that. Kendrick puts out a song called They Not Like Us. And in it, he goes, yo, Drake, I heard you like 'em young. You better not come down to cell block 1. Blah, 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 blah. You might, it sounds like I'm striking a chord. I bet it's A minor. The whole stadium screams that. They not like us. They became
Does
And-
Drake like him young?
Drake's an accused pedophile.
Got it.
Drake was trying to date Millie Bobby Brown when she was like 11.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, he has in his posse accused pedophiles. And like the fact that this song became like an anthem, the fact that like white grandmas are like A minor, oh, like it was hysterical. And the moment he walked in front of the camera, pinged it with his eyes and went, hey, Drake, I heard you like him young. The shit-eating grin on his face. That victory lap. The song was #1 on Spotify. Drake is suing about that. Had to drop the lawsuit because Spotify goes, can you prove you're not into younger women? Illegal? And he's like, we withdraw the lawsuit, Your Honor.
That's
So-
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Yeah, right. So #1 song on Spotify. He has an LA concert that's sold out. All the old heads, Dr. Dre's there, all these hip hop, just gods of hip hop show up. The whole room, he sings the song 7 times in a row, brings the house down, gets booked as the Super Bowl halftime show. And it's like, I'm not going to sing that song. Closes out that song. The whole stadium, A minor, just like, somebody needs to check on Drake. Please, is he going to be okay? Because he's just ruined. Never has being petty been
Better,
taken to
bigger.
this height. Yeah, like it's absolutely insane how like Drake's like, oh, I'm keeping up head to head with this guy in our beef, and he's like, oh yeah, boom, just nuked him.
So say your joke again.
The
Let me see if
joke
I
is
catch
if
it.
I'm up against Freddy Krueger and I go, hey, Fred, I heard you like him young. Better not come back, South Park. Anyway.
A nightmare.
There you go. Yeah, Rumi.
Okay, I got it.
I don't know if I don't know. First of all, I don't know how I would go up against a dream demon in a battle royale televised scenario. I'm sure I could get like really creative and like wacky sci-fi about it. I just don't think if I'm beating Freddy Krueger because he's basically like the Green Lantern of horror. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. And unless you're like, I don't believe in you, like every time he's defeated, it's pretty damn convenient. I'm fine with it. I don't really care that much about how he's defeated. You're just like, yeah, get him. They're like, oh yeah, this old rhyme that just appeared in this movie that beats him with a look in the reflection, and then he tears himself to pieces, or like I stabbed him
You
with
would
his own glove.
you would be like that little nerdy wheelchair guy
I
who
would be,
was a little
yes.
wizard. You'd put on your little wizard costume with the stars on it, and you'd abracadabra him, and he'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. And then he would make a joke about my man bun, cut it off, and then stab me.
Oh, for sure. Cut it off and then stab me.
I don't think I would beat Freddy Krueger in a one-on-one battle. I don't think that would happen.
See, I feel the exact opposite, and almost for the same reason. The fact that you said he's Green Lantern, I have often. Check it out.
Matt's grabbing something. He's looking. Oh, he's got a giant Green Lantern book.
I'm reading one of the Jeff Johns Green Lantern omnibuses right now, and I'm like, what the fuck is the problem? You have a ring, an omnipotent ring that's powered on your willpower. I feel like I have really good willpower now, and all I have is this ring. I think if I had a superpowered ring that enhanced my willpower, I would literally be unstoppable. I can't
100%.
think who could stop me.
This is why I can't read Green Lantern, because anytime he comes across a problem, I'm like, dude, you have a ring that does whatever you want. Like, I am already 2 steps ahead of you. I don't know. It drives me nuts.
And that coupled with that, if you don't believe in the Green Lantern, he could still fuck you up. But if you don't believe in Freddy Krueger, you're untouchable, right?
But my dreams are super lucid.
In real life?
Yeah, dude. I go to work.
That's good, isn't it? Then you could do lucid, meaning you can control them?
Well, sort of. Okay, here kid you not, swear to God, I dreamed that I was at work for 8 hours and I was coding in my dreams, trying to figure out how to make an animation of waves happen. I showed up at work next day. The code that I dreamed worked. I troubleshooted that shit in my head, in my sleep, came in, typed that shit in, and it worked. Like, I dream through a lot of scenarios, but a lot of my dreams are me just at work for 8 hours. And that's what and then I wake up, I'm like, God, I just want to go home. And they're like,
right. So, but you could use this as a strength, man. You could bore Freddy Krueger to death.
I'd be like, welcome to work, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm going to need some coffee.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, God. And I'll be like, you call this a latte?
Did you see this memo? I don't remember a lot of my dreams.
See me.
I just.
Oh, I just drowned Freddy in paperwork. You're right. Maybe I just drown him in paperwork and emails, and he just gets so depressed and stabs himself with his own claws.
What about the idea? I like the idea of him coming into your place of work and trying to get past security. And they're like, "Who are you here to see?" And he's like, "Aaron McLean." And he's like, "Oh, stupid man bun guy." They're like, did he sign you in for a guest pass?" And he's like, "No." "Oh, well, then we're going to have to call up." And then they call you, but you're not at your desk because you're too busy having a dream about being at your desk. So they're like, "We can't get in touch. You're going to have to wait down here." So he's just sitting in the lobby trying to figure out another way to get up to you while you're fucking dream coding. That's what the Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street 6 is, the dream coder.
Dream coder. No, my dreams kind of suck. I mean,
Are you serious?
sometimes they're super fun, but most of the time it's me at work being bored as shit. Like my dreams are so boring, and then I wake up and I'm already like frustrated because I've been arguing with people at work.
Because you've
for
been
hours.
at work for 8 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't count towards anything. I don't get overtime for that.
You don't
bullshit.
get dream dollars? You can't. Can you take a dream week off?
When do you get time off? When you don't have a job. So yeah, I get dream time off, but then I'm panicked because I can't pay my dream bills. I got that
But
dream
can't
mortgage.
you dream a way to figure that out?
It doesn't work like that. The oppressive nature of my dream reality.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
I just, taking a step back though, I just feel like if I was in dreams and I knew I was in dreams, like everyone in these movies, all the protagonists in Nightmare series, they know that they have to fight Freddy, and they know that he's no threat to them if they don't give him that power. And I feel, and I guess for the sake of the story at least,
Yeah.
that's easier said than done.
Well,
But to
because
me,
all he
like,
has to do is put any shred of doubt in you. He has to scare you a little bit, which he has the power to do. I mean, same thing with Pennywise the Clown. He'd be the easiest
Mhm.
guy to beat because all you have to be is like, "You piece of shit." Like your makeup's so bad. Like Tim Curry's makeup was better than yours. You wish you had Bart Mixon on your team. You look like a piece of shit. And like he would be like, "God, you guys like the internet would have destroyed Pennywise the Clown so fast because he'd just be like,
I
"Oh,
like the
God."
idea of like combining the different scenes from the movies and the books. I am in an old movie with you. Me and you go see Teenage Werewolf, and then we dump the stuff, the popcorn on the bullies, and the bullies chase us. And I go down into the boiler room of the movie theater, and I hear a noise, and I look around, and all of a sudden it's like 1990s Jenny McCarthy, and she's fully naked, and she comes out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm really scared of Jenny McCarthy. I hope
First
she
of
doesn't
all,
kiss me.
You and I both know that that's a ghost. Right off the bat, we'd be like, ghost.
Well, but I mean, like, trick Pennywise into thinking that
Oh.
I'm scared of Jenny McCarthy.
You're like,
oh
all right,
no.
I'll be Dan Aykroyd. You
Right.
be the ghost.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right.
But no, I'm always like that. It is a good example too in both movies, and I think the book too, where you're like, let's just say you feel really responsible, really guilty about the death of your brother. The fact that you feel responsible for his death means that you know he died. So if he somehow materializes and starts criticizing and talking to you, that might hurt. But aren't you like, I know this is fake. I can't. Maybe I just have a blessed life, and I just haven't. I haven't hit something that hurts that bad. That what's it called? An immortal negative entity could get in my head about it.
I think we're both also so up our own asses that like it'd be really hard to admit that something would hurt us like that. Be like, yeah, my dead brother with missing an arm shows up and be like, "You killed me," and I'd be like, "Fuck you, bro."
Or what if Pennywise like became me and he was like, "You're actually not that funny"? I'd be like, that's the only thing I think I have. That's where everything stems from. If I'm not, he's like, no. The listeners that you have in the Netherlands, accidental bots. And you're like, no!
I'd just start nagging Pennywise mad. I'd be like, "And all you wear is comic book t-shirts and fake tuxedos and cargo pants. Make fun of my man bun. Look what you're wearing. What are you wearing today?"
I'm wearing The Room and Wolverine crossover, and my brand new North Carolina or South Carolina Panthers Zubaz shorts.
Do you
So
like
there's a
the
line
South
of women
Carolina
outside.
Panthers?
What's that?
Do you like the South Carolina Panthers?
Not particularly, but I like their colors, and they are a team that I will occasionally watch once or twice a year. But I
I don't know
wanted
what just
Zubaz
happened. What
shorts.
did you touch? Your mic just went shit.
My whole setup moved when I tried to show you guys my crotch.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Don't touch it. You jiggled it. Now it worked again.
Did you hear me say the whole thing moved when I showed you my crotch?
Yes, I did, and that
Okay,
that
good.
reminded me
so
of
now
that
you heard it
moment.
twice.
Yeah, I was trying to forget, but why don't you just tell all those ladies outside? By the way, Rumi, that line of ladies outside, ghosts. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's the so with that trope, and we've talked about this multiple times. That thing where you're suddenly like, there's a girl who's way out of your league who suddenly is into you, and I'm not even saying the ones that literally crawl out of the television or come out from your waterbed. Like
It's
just
like,
take those
I'm in
out.
a space station. Where did this 10 come from? Where did this straight dime in a bikini come from? Oh, well, I don't know.
Take those out. Let's just say you're in a pool or something and
Yeah.
they appear and you're like, okay, that's plausible. I'm like, I'm sorry. You're way too out of my league. I know that you are a manifestation of evil sent here to disarm me. Like,
Yeah.
I clearly get that. If you had like the overweight pimply checkout girl from CVS was over here trying to do your spell, I might believe it. But even she has enough sense to just check me out, to physically check my items out and not check me out, right?
That's the thing. That's the thing. Like they never get you with the thing that would be most realistic, which is like the 6 or 7 waitress or something would be like, "Oh, hey." And you're like, "Oh, okay, hi." But like when it's like an intimidating 10, you're just like, "No."
Right. When you look on the wall and your Playboy poster that was there is now a poster of an empty bed and that girl is in your room, get the fuck out. Like, no.
Not even in your room, inside your waterbed.
I was going to say that too. Crawling in your waterbed. Swimming
Inside
in
your
waterbed.
waterbed. Joey's like, "Whoa,
All right.
awesome." Yeah.
Although
But
I guess because here's another thing. Those, like, he's supposed to be a teenager. I'm an old ass 42-year-old man that knows that women don't come out of beds. Like, maybe if I was 16 or 17 and a Playboy bottle was in my waterbed, maybe I would be dumb enough to be like, well, I'm not going to look Biffed in the mouth.
he's like, "Women in my waterbed, this is where babies come from, just like daddy told me." And you're like,
Yeah.
"Wait, what?"
It's like I like to think, though, in my old age now, I think that if I was in my waterbed and I felt something moving and I rolled over and it was like Jenny McCarthy or something, I think I'm going to see how this plays out. I'll play along to a certain amount. And then at the end, if it looks like an evil clown or something like that, I will tell it I don't believe and just see what happens.
You don't think it's going to surprise you with like knife blades to your stomach before you even can say, "I don't believe in this"? Wait, can you lie to the manifestation? Like, be like, "Oh, yeah, I don't believe in you. I don't believe this is happening. This can't be happening." And the whole time in phrase, like, "Fuck, I can't kill him if he doesn't believe it's happening, but it still has to happen."
I'd love to see Freddie sitting at a conference table with his lawyer going over his Freddie contract and they're like, nope, it says right here, if he doesn't believe, you cannot do it. And he's like, okay, but what if I convince him? And they're like, okay, no, but it still says right here, it says has to believe. So it's not based on how close he gets to you. It's based on the believability of it. What if I look just like her? No. It's not based on how well you do. It's based on his feelings towards that.
Wait, also, we've seen Freddy Krueger turn into a beautiful woman multiple times, very buxom, with Joey specifically. This mute kid. Who
That's right. Yeah.
has a little tear tattoo in one of the movies for like half the scenes and then does it. Anyway, I have a lot of questions about Freddy Krueger now.
In this corner, being some sort of entity of evil that either feeds on your fears or needs your belief to survive. Freddy Krueger / it / any of those things. In this corner over here, anyone who's halfway decent and realistic about their expectations and their attractiveness level.
They're like, we've had to cut the feed, folks, because these podcasters have decided to sleep with the Dream Demon while screaming, "This is unbelievable, absolutely ludicrous. I can't believe this is happening. Never in my wildest dreams." Can you imagine if, like, you keep teasing, like, you know that the nurse who you're fondling, who you're making out with, you know that it's Freddy Krueger, and you keep almost setting up the perfect pun for him to kill you with, but then pulling back at the last second and being like, I'm trying to think, like, I don't. It'd be awesome if I had a good pun right now, like something about a wet dream in a waterbed, and you're like,
oh yeah,
man,
yeah.
this is the perfect wet waterbed. I should probably go to the bathroom. And then he's like, damn it. Like, you just keep almost setting him up for the perfect pun to, like, how's this?
So
for a
Freddy
wet
knows
dream?
that's the moment to strike, you mean?
Yeah. And you know, but you're just going to keep stringing him along so you can keep making out with
here it is. He's like, pinch me, I'm dreaming. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, man, pinch. Oh, pinch. Oh, I woke up. And then you wake yourself up and he's like, no. Like, you could really do a funny skit with that. If you had a whole bunch of puns that you knew where they're going.
If you were funnier than us.
Yeah. Well,
if you guys have a podcast and you're funnier than us, we'd love to listen to your scene of what we just said.
If you did some, like, research beforehand, pre-wrote anything and not just winged it.
And not just asked during the intro, what are we talking about this episode?
How are you planning for this to go?
How could you beat the Predator?
There's a bunch of villains that you literally know their weakness. Like, if you're going to fight Captain Hook, you get a clock and that goes fucking toast.
Easy.
You got any more?
Those are the only ones that I had half thought about. Let's see.
If it was a tag team match, you and me together, what two creatures would you want, or villains would you want to go up against?
The brownies from Willow. That seems like an easy victory. That's literally punching down, right?
You know what's really funny about this is because I said the Wheelers from Return to Oz was in my head for some reason.
Both pretty specific, explicit picks, right?
Yeah, these guys are on wheels. We just go into the stairwell and be like, "Excuse me, Ed 209. Excuse me, RoboCop. All right, come and get me, Wheelers." And they're like, "Damn it."
Okay. I got one.
All right.
We did an episode way back about our fears, and during that episode, my actual mom, called in, completely unplanned. My mom called in and revealed one of my biggest fears from childhood was a piano monster that I was afraid specifically was going to bite my hiney when I got out of the shower.
And then
you got to go listen to that episode if you guys haven't. What was something from that episode that you were afraid of as a child? And let's have me and you now fighting our fears as a child. So piano monster who bites heinies is tag teamed with...
I mean, I'm scared. I have a juicy hiney.
I was going to say I'll stand behind you then, but that's not where I want to be.
I mean, I'm terrified of heights. I have vertigo really bad, and worms. I'm not like afraid of worms, but like a pile of worms would be just nightmare fuel for me. 8 hours in the office, knee deep in worms.
So what would be scarier for you? A giant worm that's like, let's say, the size of a person, or a person-sized entity or whatever made out of
That did
worms?
just give me the mad shivers. A giant...
With one giant one?
Well, because today it's been raining, and I went out on the street, and there was a single worm, and he was
raining
like,
outside or just in your living room?
Both. No,
Okay.
it was sunny today, but it's been raining in our neighborhood most of the week. And there's like a worm on the street in the sunshine being like, oh God, I'm going to die. Oh God. And you're like, oh God. Gross. A giant one of those, but they're not going to hurt you. It's the pile of worms. Like in the
No,
movie,
they're gonna hurt you.
in the movie Squirm, most of
Yeah.
that movie blows, but when the house fills up with worms and the guy's
Yep.
like drowning in worms, I get the willies on that real good. Real
Mm.
good willies there. You know,
So if you found a worm on top of a ladder, you would just absolutely shit.
how high is
Which in and of itself would ward off the piano monster. I feel like that's his weakness.
shit? If it was a really high ladder
Mm-hmm.
to the point that I was getting the vertigo, and then I saw the worm, I'd be like, oh,
Mm.
yeah, probably.
What if you fell off a high ladder into a room filled with squirmy wormies?
What I fell off a ladder that was 2 stories once with bees.
Like the bees fell with you?
I was up on a ladder and I was pressure washing the side of our house,
Mm.
and I hit a vent and a bunch of bees came out of the vent. And my mom was down holding the ladder and she's like, come down really slow. And that's when the bees started stinging me. And she's trying to spray me with a hose to try and keep the bees off me. And I just let go. I just went, whoa.
And then at your funeral, she was putting your glasses on. You were like, he needs his glasses.
He needs his glasses. I saw that movie again recently because
Yeah.
we all saw it as kids because our parents didn't know. But like, that is not a movie for kids
No, it is not. I remember
At-
watching it as a kid being bored, except
all.
for that one scene.
because it's who's the little girl? It's
Veda.
you know, yeah, but it's
I know
like
I know who you're talking about.
the actress. I can't remember her name, but it's Dan Aykroyd trying to get in her mom's pants while they live at a funeral home, and then the little neighbor boy she kind of falls in love with. He's a little nerdy Macaulay Culkin boy, and he gets killed by bees. What a
Mhm.
but like the movie was shockingly good, but also our entire generation wrote it off as that trauma movie that we were like, why did you take us to that? They're like, I had dinner. I thought it was a family movie, but like you're like, no, it's awful. It's worse than Bridge to Terabithia, just killing off the main characters at the end. Well, fuck
In
you.
this corner, weighing 52 pounds and having starred in Home Alone, Macaulay
He
Culkin.
still weighs 52
In
pounds.
this corner, being angry about some rocks. Bees. I want a clean fight, no knocking each other's glasses off.
His girlfriend's in the corner screaming and it just distracts him. Oh my God. There's a great MMA fight where one of the guys is pinned against the cage and you hear, oh my God, hit him, fight back. And he goes, Mom, shut up. He's getting his ass kicked. And he's yelling at his mom. And then everyone gave him so much shit. And he was like, she was just making it more stressful. It was not what was
Awesome.
supposed to be
I love
happening.
it.
Yeah. Anna Klumsky. Is that how she?
That's
yeah,
Veda's name?
Veda name, Anna Klumsky. She's in a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis is the other mom. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's in tons of stuff. Veep, My Girl Too, where she falls in love with JTT.
She was in something with Josh Kelly. I can't remember what it was, though. Our friend Josh Kelly.
Dubergator.
It wasn't Dubergator. Dubergator the man, not the movie.
Veep is what I know her from most,
Yeah.
other than these two.
I think it's probably the biggest thing she's probably been in, except My Girl.
Yeah. Which is always like, oh my God. But yeah, weird movie to come back to and be like, what? Why did we like this movie? So yeah, worms and ladders and a ass eating piano. Is it a piano?
I never said I was afraid he was gonna eat. I was afraid he was gonna bite. I don't know if it was for consumption purposes. So when I was little, if you haven't listened to the other episode, when I was little and my parents used to take me out of the bathtub, I used to want them to cover my back and butt with the towel because I was terrified the piano monster would bite my hiney. and I was serious. Like I don't think I actually believed it, but I was also actually very scared of it. And I think it was because of a Muppet that I saw where the piano was a regular piano and then comes alive and eats Kermit or something. There definitely is a video of eating Kermit. I just don't know if that's the one that made me think that.
I
And my
had
parents
this
used to say, "No, the garbage men took him away."
I had this nightmare repeatedly that a gorilla was in the closet and it burst through my wall. And the thing that scared the shit out of me was like the hole in the wall was exactly gorilla shaped, like in a cartoon. And for some reason that scared me so bad when I was really little. And I'd always like wake up screaming, "The gorilla in the closet." My parents are like,
And your brain literally was like, "That's enough exciting dreams for this kid. From
yeah.
now on,
I was like, "The
from now
gorilla
on,
in
we're
the
logging
closet."
some more computer hours here."
The gorilla in my closet. I got to be at work in 5 minutes in my dream work, and this gorilla is keeping me up. I'm going to be late on those papers. I'm like 4. How am I going to like explain this to my boss in my
No,
dream?
that's yeah.
God, wild times. Well, I think in all reality, we'd all be dead because that's not the fun part that makes movies good. The fun part is when idiots like us walk into a ring, get slaughtered by our opponents.
Oh, I was about to say, what did you say before about? Oh, I was about to say, write us now and let us know if we are the charming, humorous, funny characters that you hope make it out, or are we the annoying podcasters that you hope get killed immediately? And then I was like, I actually don't want to know, so don't tell us.
I 100% think that we'd be the ones who they want to die, but that's okay. I actually wouldn't want it any other way. If I didn't get killed in a horror movie, I'd be disappointed to survive in a horror movie at this point.
You know what would be the worst though? And I know this,
What?
I mean, you worked on horror movies. I've worked on movies before where someone like I worked on like one movie where someone gets sawn in half with like an old school like 2-man tree saw.
Yeah.
He got cut in half. Someone else got a butter churn, like the actual big paddle looking thing, bashed in the face so their head came apart. Then there was like someone else who got stabbed. And you're like, I don't want to die from a stab wound.
I don't
right?
want to be the dull machete on the Dead Meat James kill count, right?
Right.
Like
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if I'm gonna die, like, oh my god, that shitty Halloween Kills. You have Diana Prince in it, and she gets killed off screen.
Right.
Boo.
Yeah, boo,
Boo.
yeah. Or at least like if she gets killed off screen, I want to come back and see something sticking out or obliterated. I gotta cringe when I come back. And I have had people that I've killed in a movie and they're psyched. They're like, "Oh, that's cast of my face. Look at that." Or like, "Oh, you're going to stick that saw blade through my mouth? Awesome." And then there's other people where you're like, "Lay down so I could pour blood on you." It's like, boring. And you're going to be cold.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it. Oh my god, yeah, being a shitty getting killed shittily in a movie is probably worse than. Oh god.
I got killed with a slit throat by a retainer once in a friend's movie in college.
That's good.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like a nerd who killed everyone that was bothering him with nerd stuff, like a short. I'm trying to think if I've been killed in any other movies. I think that's probably it.
I get killed in the movie Cicada. I
remember.
A religious zealot, and a cicada flies down and pops my head off. Got a sign. Got a sandwich board. Yeah, it's great.
It was great.
So fun. Anyway, guys, let us know, who would you fight in a death match? Who would you be locked in an arena with to fight to the death? Would you win? Would you lose?
I was gonna say, how would you win? That's what I want to hear.
I know. Let us know. Could you beat the Terminator? Oh, I had one in my head too. You know how I would, if I was up against Godzilla. You know what weapon I'm taking with me?
Mothra?
two little twins. No, a bag of bread.
Go on.
I think Godzilla is helpless against birds.
Mm.
And if I took that bag of bread and I got the birds to peck his eyes out, I think Godzilla would be fucked.
All right. Number one, I'm gonna commend your moxie, but you gotta fill in some of these holes. You're like, then I would just trick the predator and just set a bunch of traps. But like, what traps? How would you get bread in Godzilla's eyes?
So a lot of this research is done by a different podcast where they said if Godzilla had to fight the birds from the movie, the birds, they were like, the birds would win because they could peck out Godzilla's eyes, crawl inside his skull, and kill him. And I'm going to use that.
But a bird isn't gonna think that.
Yeah, but that's why you have to coax the birds with bread.
But wouldn't you have to throw some bread in his eyes to attack the eyes, and then some in the eye holes into the brain?
Yeah, a single person could crawl up Godzilla. Well, maybe the radiation would kill me first.
How are you gonna get up there?
I would die from radiation poisoning. One of the things that they often are inconsistent about in Godzilla movies, like these children like playing with Godzilla, he's a radioactive monster. They would die from radiation poisoning and burns within like a week. I always hate that about those movies.
But does he always have radiation coming out of him? I know there are movies
Yes!
that specify that. You think so?
I mean, look, why wouldn't he? He does in the first movie.
The Ninja Turtles don't.
They're not radioactive.
That's my scientific counterpoint.
They're ooze.
Why are they not radioactive?
They're ooze-based monsters. It's not radioactive ooze.
Yes, it was.
No.
Daredevil's not. Daredevil was a radioactive isotope.
Oh. Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Daredevil was just blind.
Yeah, what? He saved an old man in the middle of the road that was about to get hit by a truck. The truck swerved, and radioactive waste, some sort of radioactive isotope, splashed him in the face. Matt Murdock used to have all of his senses, but the stuff that splashed in his face killed his sight, but it enhanced all of his other senses.
Oh,
so that is his superpower. Like his physical body is his own body.
Bro. I need. Oh God, IDW, hit me up, please. I will write Godzilla comics for you all day. Godzilla is a radioactive monster. Everywhere he goes, he's creating superheroes, and they band up to fight against him. So it's Godzilla versus these superheroes, and some of them he destroys, and some of them, but like he is constantly breeding superheroes because of his radioactive energy.
And then he breeds radioactive Birdman, and that's his downfall.
Yeah, flies into his eyes because I throw some fucking breadcrumbs
like,
in there.
I'll punch him. I'll use my super heat vision on him. I'll web him up. And Birdman's like, no, you guys, I got this. Right in the eye.
Fly around in his brain a little bit, scramble that shit, pop out the nose and be like, deuces.
Think just for a second, okay? Let's say that you are the bird in this situation. And no matter how much space you're able to get, imagine how disgusting it would be to burrow through an eyeball into the eye cavity, into the brain beyond. Like, how fucking gross would that be?
Worms do it all the time. Must be fun.
I hate those fuckers. I'm terrified. Worms do it all the time. Yeah, but worms don't have eyes. They can't see how gross it is.
Do you want to know the moment that worms started freaking me out?
Of course I do.
So I was in charge of a pool. It was like a private pool, and I was the lifeguard, the
This
caretaker.
is going to end with dead kid and worms in their eyes, right?
A dead fox.
Gross.
So I come, and there's a dead fox. He's got worms coming out of all orifices. Gross. I don't know what to do with such an animal.
Was he in the pool?
No, he was on the side of the pool.
Mm.
I was in high school at the time. I didn't really know what to do. I couldn't find a shovel. I didn't think to call animal control. What I did have was a vacuum cleaner. I want to paint a picture, and I'm going to do it in a way this. I want you to pretend you have a giant plate of spaghetti. And you put that spaghetti on the floor, and you're trying to vacuum up that spaghetti with a vacuum cleaner, and it's just like... And if that didn't make some of you throw up, just thinking about sucking up spaghetti with a vacuum cleaner, the sound, seeing it inside the tumbler, just Imagine doing that to a worm-filled corpse of an animal. Yeah, that's why I can't get that image out of my head. That's why I crunch the numbers in my dreams, Matt. That's why I go to work in my dreams, so I don't think about the worms. The
I
worms
think
in the
that's-
vacuum cleaner.
the takeaway from that story isn't totally that worms are gross. It's that you are dumb and you're coming up with stupid solutions to problems.
It was one of the dumbest things I've ever done, for sure. But look, hey, don't tell me you've never like
Wait,
run.
hang on. You're telling me you never vacuumed up a fox carcass before?
Look, I didn't want my boss showing up because he would have whipped out a chainsaw and just gone to town on that thing. Because literally, that guy would get pissed off and show up at work, whip out like some big chainsaw and just start cutting down trees, all angry and shit. Have a heart attack. You got to call somebody. Ambulances show up. Like, I don't know. That place just puts you in bad decision mode.
Can I get deep into this for a second? I got like an important question.
Yeah.
As a lifeguard, tasked with the well-being of those near your pool, did you feel partly responsible for the fox's death?
No. I just showed up. He was there. It was
Oh,
his
he
fault.
died before your shift, so you don't you don't count that. You don't feel there's no guilt there.
He didn't drown in the pool. He died from worms. He didn't drown in the pool. He wasn't in the pool.
Right. But so by that rationale, if you were a lifeguard and there was a little kid dying next to the pool, but he wasn't wet, you would just be like, "Not my job."
Wait. No. Because you said the ing on there. Actively. I would be responsible if it was active. I showed up, it already happened. If I showed up and there was a kid just bleh, I would have been like, well, let me get the fucking shop vac out. Jesus. Come on.
Think of the noises that kid would make getting sucked up.
Especially if he had been eating spaghetti. This was a cleanliness issue, not like I don't know. I just don't want anybody to show up and see this. So, but I didn't want to touch it.
Did you, like, for legal and safety reasons, did you do a chalk outline so, like, when the boss got there, you could see where the body had been found?
No,
and then a bunch of tiny little chalk lines for all the worms?
I tried to erase it completely so that I didn't have to explain anything to anybody, but that didn't work.
Why is the shop vac not working? I don't know. I'm a lifeguard.
What is that smell?
I don't know about body removal. Body removal? What are you talking about? I don't know. Nothing.
What is that smell coming from the utility closet? I don't know.
In this corner, weighing more than he did yesterday because of worm consumption and eating, a fox carcass. And in this corner, coming in at 100 volts, DeWalt Power Sucker 3000.
Oh, it's the Dyson ball. He didn't read the fine print there, Matt. It says not for body disposal. Whoa, he's in for some trouble now. I'll tell you what.
Thank you for purchasing this fight on paper. Oh my God.
Oh my.
So is this about what you thought this episode would be like? Is this kind of how you thought it would turn out?
How I wanted it to go. I dreamt this. This is exactly what I thought was going. I thought we were going to have some laughs, and then get derailed and laugh even harder. So
that sounds like us. Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. This was good. I love that how 20 minutes ago I was trying to wrap this up, but then we got derailed by the worms. I hope that boss listens to our podcast and
oh yeah,
that piece of shit. He told me.
I hope you get an email tomorrow being like, "You owe me a shop vac, motherfucker. I don't care if your roof is broken. You owe me a shop vac now."
Oh, I'm sure he had a heart attack many years ago.
The fox?
No, the angry boss guy. He was just high strung, man. He was really high strung.
Because they had a murder pool with inept lifeguards and broken power tools all over the place.
You shouldn't have hired 16-year-olds to try and run this fucking place. We're just gonna.
Oh my god!
I don't know where the shovel is. Shop vac it is.
I just also like the fact that they had a shop vac easily available, but not a shovel.
It wasn't even a shop vac, dude. It was literally like a consumer Dyson ball, regular vacuum cleaner. Fuck. I wish it was a shop vac. A shop vac, I could have done some damage with that thing. I've sucked up glass with a shop vac. Nothing parties like a rental.
Oh my god.
Well, guys, let us know the worst thing you've sucked up in a vacuum.
I have been on quite a few adventures with you, and like in my mind, the Rumi, the Aaron, what's it called? Like photo book? What's it called? A picture book? Not a picture book. Photo album. The like Rumi photo album in my mind. There's so many fun things from when we lived together. Obviously from the show, from Comic-Cons, from crazy bowling nights that we went on with our friends. Now there's like a full page dedicated to 16-year-old you tearfully sucking up the carcass of a worm-infested fox. I love it. You know that the term, I actually hate it because it's overused, but the live rent-free in my mind, that will live rent-free in my mind forever.
Yeah, you'll just be
forever.
You'll just be sitting there doing something very normal, you know, teaching kindergartners, and just be like,
well, the next time you and I, because we remember, I wish I knew this 4 years ago. Remember we did our spaghetti westerns episode?
Oh God,
where we actually ate spaghetti in cowboy hats. The next time I look in my eyes, so you know I'm serious. The next time we eat pasta together, I'm going to go.
You're just gonna break out a vacuum cleaner, just.
If I have that much foreknowledge, I will have at least a dustbuster to get the joke across.
You know why that episode's never released, right?
Which one? Spaghetti Western?
The third Western episode is never.
Really? I don't know.
One of them. Well, so one of them has never been released because in the middle of it, Kate walks in and goes, "Oh my God, Kobe Bryant died," and we were like, "What?" And it just derails the podcast.
Oh,
and
we don't even get back to it?
Yeah, completely. I like coming back to it. It's just a mess. So I think if there's enough time, we'll just put it out. And in the middle of an episode, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, Kobe Bryant died."
So where were you when Kobe Bryant died?
Sucking up pasta. We were literally recording an episode about westerns and eating spaghetti like a couple of idiots. And
like you do.
Like you do in my shitty rented apartment for that few months. That place sucked. Matt, we gotta blast this thing off.
Did you follow us? Did you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and
I'm literally
Flex?
gonna.
What is it? Fluctuate. What was the flux capacitor?
Influx.
Ah, shit.
Follow
At
us
the
on
beginning, I was
Influx.
like, remember this for the end. It'll be a funny joke, and I didn't.
Oh God, I'm gonna cry and then throw up. I am starting to feel a little squeamed out by this.
Good.
The worms are gonna get me, man.
Wait till you see the picture I send you when we're done.
Oh God.
Oh, we even had pasta tonight. Oh, I can go and I'll get some from the fridge. This will be good.
Let's blast this thing off. You ready?
All right, so I got to go other way, this way.
Other way. Ready? 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. We're the Rocketeers, and we are out.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.